In this video, I'm going to show you how to make some of the best paper targets. The splatter targets, or sometimes known as the shoot and see targets. These guys right here, on the cheap. So stay tuned. This is going to be an arts and crafts video. Look, firearms are expensive enough. Between the cost of the actual rifle, in this case a Daisy 880, cleaning supplies, ammunition, and accessories, the last thing I want to be doing is spending even more money on targets, especially paper targets. Now sure, shooting the occasional zombie target is a lot of fun, or if you want something a little more serious, a target like this, but good luck seeing your hits beyond about 10 yards without any binoculars. Enter the shoot and see target. Much easier to see your shots. These targets usually consist of a dark or a black face to them with a fluorescent cardboard color underneath it, so when the bullet hits and tears, the surrounding area will illuminate so you can see where your shots are, which is much easier to see at distance and see where your groupings are hitting. Problem is, even a target like this is about $1 a target. Something about this size, it's going to run you about $2 or more per target. Now sure, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of money, but again, cleaning supplies, ammunition, paper targets, all these costs add up. So in this video I'm going to show you how to do it not only much cheaper, but in a way where you can kind of customize and make your own targets, which, hey, I'm all about crafting things. So let's get into it. Here are all the items you will need to complete these targets. First, we'll start with the paper. Now this is a 500 pack of neon bright paper. I got this on Amazon for, I think I paid $20.52 according to my last purchase. Again, 500 sheets of paper. This will last a very long time. Secondly, you're going to need some spray paint. And I just got to say, what has happened to the price of spray paint? I remember as a kid picking up black spray paint from Walmart for like 79, 89 cents a can. Honestly, the cheapest I've seen is maybe around $4 or $5 a can. So we'll just go with about $5 for a can of spray paint. Oh, black spray paint, by the way. It doesn't really matter if it's gloss or not. I prefer kind of a flatter black. Thirdly, you're going to need some like some packing tape or just some clear tape. I believe we got this at Costco. There's 8 rolls of this packing tape, and it even came with the little roll applicator. We paid, I believe, $25 for this. And then lastly, this is kind of optional, but I prefer it, and you'll kind of see why as I build one of these. But just a roll of like 3 or 4 inch targets. I just went on Amazon, and you can buy like a 600 pack or 600 roll of these sticky targets for, how much was it? $28? So that's a pretty good deal. So with these 4 things, we'll go ahead and get started. And then at the end of the video, I'll go ahead and do a cost analysis to see how much overall these cost per target. I've got a few different sizes here that I'll go ahead and make. I've combined 6 pieces here, 4 pieces of paper with a neon green, then also 2. So let's go ahead and get taping. The taping process is fairly self-explanatory. You're just taping like horizontal slats as you go across and move down. So here we go. Ain't the prettiest thing in the world, and that's fine. As soon as we spray paint, it'll cover a lot of these kind of ugly deficiencies. And then with the extra tape, you can either cut it off or I just kind of tuck it behind. So there you go. There's a 6 papered target. These are kind of my preferred. Next, we'll make the combined 4 paper target. There you go. And the little guy, the 2 paper target. Doesn't have to be the prettiest thing in the world, but the point being, if there's a few wrinkles, don't worry about it. As long as they're not excessive and not in your face. I mean, this is totally acceptable. And next we're going to spray paint. Pretty self-explanatory. Although I went ahead and made a target of every color, I figured to make a good comparison for when we get out to the range. You can see how each target kind of illuminates. Now as we let these dry, I went through about 18 sheets of paper, so just for easy math, we'll go ahead and round up to 20 sheets. And with that, I went through, I'd say roughly half a can of spray paint and like half a roll of tape. So with that in mind, I'll crunch the numbers and do the math a little bit later, so we can see, you know, per target how much this all adds up to. Okay, so in the last segment, we ran the math, and each of these sticky targets is about 10 cents each for this roll. And here I have the 6-sheet target, the 2-sheet target, and also the 4. And you can doctor these with targets however you want. Usually I like to maximize my targets. So on like the 6th one, which I use the most, I'll put like 5 or so on there, just so I can maximize the real estate on here. And I don't always have the option to go like reset my target or like touch it up. So I kind of want to put the most allowable targets on there while still keeping some distance in case I'm shooting way off and I don't know what target I'm trying to shoot at, if that kind of makes sense. So I'll go ahead and slap some targets on here and so here's kind of my standard. I like to put 5 targets on this. This one's got googly eyes. And here's kind of the comparison to the 3-inch targets and the 4-inch. The extra inch, you know, really works out pretty well, fellas. Hey guys, so I made basically 2 targets with a plethora of different colored construction paper underneath. The point of this is just to see how it illuminates, to kind of prove the targets are worthy for you. I think they work great, but let's throw some rounds down range and see what happens. In case you're not actually hitting the target, I'll just send some rounds kind of all over just to see how the misses illuminate as well. and needs oil. As you can see, I'm shooting 7.62 by 39, so it illuminates pretty well. Obviously that was the blue target. That was the pink one. And it looks like the green one that I made. And especially if you're sighting in a rifle, and you're using like binoculars, or you have, like for me, I have a prism scope. So it makes it just that much easier to see where you're missing, and really good to see your hits. Here's one of the other targets we've kind of been plinking at all day. So kind of a mix of 5.56, 7.62 by 39. There might be a couple pistol in there too. Actually, yeah, I like this yellow target. I think it's a lot of pistol. But again, it's just a very good way to illuminate your missed shots and see where you're missing, as opposed to just a normal paper target that doesn't have, you know, fluorescent paper behind it. I also have a roll of the actual targets, so once they get shot up, you can just slap a new one on there, or if you're careful, you can also just spray paint them. Sometimes I find it better just to add a new cheap sticky target, but whatever you want to do. Like I said, there's multiple ways to add longevity to your targets as well. So there you go. And just for context, I was shooting at 50 yards. Especially at distance, it just illuminates that much better. Whether you're sighting your optic or irons for 50 yards or 100 yards or beyond. Pair that with binoculars, this makes it a great system just to not only sight in your rifles or your guns, but also just to see them at distance a heck of a lot better. So I hope this helps. I also finally got my CMMG Mutant, or Resolute, but let's be honest, let's just call it Mutant. Finally got this back from CMMG, and this is the first probably 250 rounds I finally put through it since I got it back. One of the big changes they did to it was it had like a single feed ramp, but they changed it to more of a double feed ramp, and I haven't had a single issue with it today. Out of the plethora of magazines I put it through, as well as shooting just Yugo M67 ammunition, corrosive of course, so I gotta clean this guy out. But I'll eventually have a review on a much more in-depth review on the Mutant. I just need to put more rounds through it and get a little better with it and put it through its paces. So. Pro tip for you. So I also like to spray paint the bullseyes orange. They show up a lot easier at distance. They're easier to see. Here's one that's already been to the range compared to this one. Again, like 50 plus yards, or just looking through a scope, it's just a lot easier to find. So, with I think it was a hole saw adapter on the drill, I just cut out like a little 1.5 inch thing. Covers the target nicely. I can just, touch the bullseye with orange. Alright, so there you go. That's how I make my targets, on the cheap anyway. I'll go ahead and put up here or here how much the cost breakdown is on these. I mean, you save a little bit of money, but they're also fun just to custom make your own targets and just make them the way you want, rather than being a slave to whatever pattern you buy. So, anyways, hope you found this useful. If you have tips or suggestions, go ahead and post them below. Other than that, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. I gotta go get my laundry.
Yep.